Good afternoon, Westwood, and welcome to a TVL Large matchup today. A very special matchup we got between two heavyweights in the TVL Large. Both teams, Westwood and Hopkinton, coming in at 11-3 with a few different playoff scenarios in mind, which we'll get into later. But as always, Evan Cardamino on camera, Morgan Donahue on microphone. And folks, today we have a very special guest, a local legend, a broadcasting legend, 11-time Emmy-winning champion or award winner here in the Northeast, Mr. Tom Lydon. Tom, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
I'm very nervous because I'm as much a dad as I am a fan and analyst of this game, and so I've probably been thinking about this more than some of the kids. But this is a great opportunity to be with you and Evan. Obviously, I watch all the work that you do and I'm very appreciative, and I know the girls are too, and the whole town is really. So, thank you for letting me be a part of this. And it really comes down to a fantastic matchup between two teams that are 11-3. Today, Westwood can do something that they haven't done in 41 years. If they win this game, they clinch at least a tie for the TVL Large title.
Unbelievable.
And when you think about how long it's been, you just hope that they play a clean game.
Yep.
I think it's going to come down to defense.
Yep.
It's going to come down to the team that really gets through without a lot of mistakes. This Hopkinton team can hit the ball, so you are going to see the ball in play, and they've got a ton of great hitters. I mean, they come in with a team batting average that is 368. I mean, to put it in perspective, we're hitting well, and our team batting average is 313. So they've got a ton of hits, and they're a dangerous team with a lot of talented players, and I can't wait to see how our girls respond today.
But you do say that. However, Westwood went into Hopkinton on early April, I think it was April 9th, walked away with a win. You know, what were some of the things you saw that game, good takeaways from Westwood coming away with a big win?
It was a great game, great environment, and the one thing that really stood out to me that night, it was under the lights in Hopkinton, our girls responded. And I think as a team matures, you see them respond to something negative that might happen in the field in a way that this group had never really done before. So, you know, there was an error out in right field in that game that previous years could have been the beginning of a snowball going down the hill the wrong way. In this case, on that night, they answered in the next inning with an explosive offensive outburst.
Absolutely.
So that's, I think, what was the tone that was set that night when our girls just responded to anything bad that happened. And that's been the theme this year, where when something bad happens, whether it be a loss, which they're coming off of, they lost to Medfield the other day, or whether it just be the other team scoring a few runs, they've been able to answer the call.
Absolutely, and it starts with their leadership. It sounds like, you mentioned having the positive mind frame to bounce back after tough plays or going down a run. Westwood's leadership, we have two junior captains, senior captains, the junior captains being Bridget Mulkeen, the pitcher, Sasha Marino at shortstop, and senior captain, your daughter, Dahlia Lydon. You know, what have you been seeing out of them as the leaders this year and setting the tone for the players?
Well, it's a big team. You know, they've got 18, they got a lot of freshmen. A lot of the freshmen aren't going to play, and they haven't really played at all, if just a little bit here at the varsity level. But they've absorbed it, and I think what's been great is that you see a really energetic bench. Our bench is loaded with energy, which has been very cool to see. You know, the core five plus Izzy Walsh behind the plate have played a lot of games together in this configuration. They are very familiar with themselves. Abby at third base, Sasha at short, Amelia at second, Dahlia at first, Bridget pitching, and Izzy has just been remarkable this year as a freshman coming in there and catching. So if they can be clean and our outfielders can make the catches in the outfield, I'm feeling pretty good about us. And we didn't even mention it yet, Morgan, but you know, 6 is celebrating her 17th birthday today.
Okay.
You know,
all
Bridget's bringing the birthday mojo with the hopes that, you know, they get this win and hopefully bring home the TVL title today.
So there's more on the line today than just the TVL Large title. As Tom mentioned, Bridget Mulkeen's birthday. She has been fantastic all year. In the Bellingham game earlier this month, recording her 500th career strikeout, which is unheard of, you know, in the softball statistical categories that we've seen over the years. On the season too, she's having a terrific season at about 144 strikeouts on the season. She's averaging just over 10 a game, which is absolutely remarkable. But looks like we are ready to get underway here at Westwood High School. Westwood going with the traditional infield we've seen the last couple days. Lydon at first, O'Neill at second, Marino at third, Johnson at third, Tartufo in right field, Poles in center, And then in left field,
Bella Gentile.
Bella Gentile. Thanks, Tom. And we are ready to go here, folks. Great pitch right off the bat from Malkeen. Nice fastball right for the call strike. And we are underway. Ball is in play over to Marino. Picks it onto first, gets away. Runner's going to stay on first. So good job there by Westwood to keep the runner on first. That was Walls, the pitcher, who was leading off there. So Walls is going to get on base as the leadoff runner.
If one person is going to be unfazed by any of the ramifications of this game or whoever they're playing against, it's going to be Bridget.
Yeah.
And if we need somebody to step up, it's got to be her today.
Yeah.
But the defense also has to make plays. And again, here's a good example, right?
Yep.
Runner's safe. What's going to happen next? Who's going to make a defensive play?
Yep. Coming up to the plate for Holliston Holden, second base, playing second base for the Hillers. And she takes a first pitch strike. So as you mentioned, Tom, bounces back, gets that first pitch strike. She's certainly dialed in. And a lot of times you see pitchers like her, they're not really focused or worried about that runner on first. They're focused on the batter. We got one in play. Johnson gets a hold of it, throws it to second, gets the lead out. So great play there by Johnson and O'Neill to get the lead runner on second for the Wolverines' first out.
Johnson, Abby's a fantastic athlete, great coachable kid. She could really play anywhere. She's played a lot of innings at second base. She can play first, but was moved over to third last year, and she's settled in very nicely.
She's got some terrific baseball and softball genetics. Her father, Lenny, her mother, Nicole, both from Roger Williams athletes. It's on Bristol, Rhode Island. It's gonna be a first pitch called ball. Number 3 hitter is Osman, the catcher for Hopkinton. So just a smart play by Johnson. She knew, it wasn't going to be probably enough time to throw to first. Went right to second on that play. O'Neill was already ready for that. And just smart, playing in the field, which starts with, the coaching. We've seen a lot of terrific coaching from head coach Tom Grandy, having his players ready situationally, whether it's them running on the bases or even in the field. It's been terrific. We got a cut there, a foul back to backstop.
What Abby has really done a great job at is learning how to cut off Sasha.
Yep.
Because truly, any ball that the third baseman can get is a ball the third baseman should get.
Yep.
But sometimes when you have a really good shortstop like Sasha is, you feel like you're stepping on that person's toes.
Yeah.
That message had to be relayed to Abby, like, if you can get it, get it.
Yes. Oh, ball heading our way. It's going to be in the gap. Poles is going to chase it down. Hopkinton runner is rounding third. She's going to score. And we're going to get a triple there for the catcher, Osman. So a one-run triple for Osman is going to put Hopkinton up 1-0 here on the top of the first.
You're going to see a lot of that. Balls in play to right field, balls in play to right center field. When you have a pitcher who throws near 60 and sometimes over 60 like Bridget does, you're going to get that movement on the ball that's a slice. If you can imagine, not to say you slice when you're on the golf course, but if you can imagine a slice in golf, that ball, we saw it came right at us here, it does tail a little bit towards the right field line, and the outfielder's going to have to be aware of that, particularly with a really hard-hitting team like Hopkinton.
Absolutely. That was hit very sharply and worked its way out to the outfield. Credit to Mia Poles, able to chase that down to keep the runner on third and not have her make her way home. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Pahank, who, from what I understand, is a terrific athlete, both in the field and a terrific hitter for Hopkinton.
Yeah, Holly Pahark is going to be a TVL All-Star. There's no question about that. She's phenomenal to watch. She hits the ball really hard. You would think in other circumstances this might be a bunting, squeeze type of situation, not with her. She at this point is just thinking about getting the ball in the air.
Oh, good looking pitch, just inside by Malkeen. It's going to be 2 balls, no strikes. So Tom, sounds like she's the type of player that when a 3-0 count, she's getting the green light.
You would think yes. You would think yes. We'll see how conservative the coaching staff is playing it here.
Sure. So 2 balls, no strikes. Runner on third, 1 out. Pitch from Malkeen. It's going to be low for ball 3.
And truth be told, wouldn't be the worst thing to put her on first base.
Nope.
she could knock in that run very easily. All she's got to do is get the ball in play. You can see that they're positioned a bit in. They're not all the way in, so if it comes hard at them, I'm sure they'll look that runner back to third and try to get the out at first.
3-0 pitch is going to be high, and it's going to be ball 4. So exactly, you know, you got nothing to lose putting her on first. If anything, there's a potential double play ball in play. Sharp hit line drives, or if there's a sharply hit ball, the second base stepping on the bag, throw to first. That's going to bring up the first base for Hopkinton, Wim, with runners on first and third and 1 out. Runner is going. Izzy's going to check with O'Neill while O'Neill checks in on third. So we got runners now on second and third with 1 out. A single potentially scoring 2.
It's a good temperature check just to see how disciplined the team's going to be on the base path. That's a set play where they throw it to Amelia there, hoping to catch the runner napping at third.
Ball is in play. Marino's got it, looks back third, onto first for the out. Great play there by Marino. And then Leiden checks in on home. But a great play there on the field by the Wolverines. Marino is sure-handed, as you'll see, at shortstop. Had a second to look at the player or the runner on third, keep them on the bag, threw it to first for the out, and the second out in the top of the first here.
So here comes Caroline Kane, and Caroline was 4 for 4 in that game on April 9th. So she did a lot of damage for Hopkinton offensively in that first matchup. But now you at least have the infield back. You know, the plays to first, you just got to keep the ball in front of you. You know, if something comes to the outfield that's in the gap, obviously you want to keep Caroline as limited as you can on the base paths.
1-0 pitch is fouled off down the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike. And definitely a big matchup for both teams. Obviously nerves on both sides. Once you get the first out, the second out, you feel a little bit more looser. And I'd imagine Westwood now, you know, a little bit, you know, less nervous and more just ready for that next batter. 1-1 pitch, going to be outside. Ball gets away, but Walsh able to track it down.
What you want to see, Morgan, is both teams get loose, like you said, and you anticipate that it's probably going to be a relatively high-scoring game. I mean, the game back on April 9th was 12-6, Westwood. So offense, we're probably going to see a lot of it.
Outside there. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner on third and second with 2 outs. Not the worst thing if you walk here. First base is open. And that's going to be ball 4. So also mention, not the worst thing, Tom, when you have that batter, Kane, up at the plate, who's been terrific in the last game versus Westwood. And now you go to the 7-hitter, Adams.
And Zoe Adams, by the way, hitting 489. So you can see throughout this entire lineup, they have kids who can hit. And Zoe did some damage against us the last time that we faced them. And she enters this game this year with 4 doubles, and she has 13 RBIs. So this is a kid who's pretty comfortable in the batter's box.
Oh, good looking pitch there, just outside. So 1 ball, 1 strike. So just when you think you get out of the woods with 1 Hopkinton hitter, the woods is expanded because you got Adams up at the plate.
Yeah, balls are going to be put in play all day. That's the bottom line.
Pitch from Malkeen, heading our way into right field. Tartufo's going to get it. 1 run scores, 2 runs scores on a 2-run single there by Adams, the DH. So a nice piece of hitting there for Hopkinton to put them up 3-0 here in the top of the first.
So Hopkinton comes into this game with 6 straight wins. They have been red hot. They have outscored their opponents in those 6 games 74-11. So they come in with a lot of confidence, and they just rolled that right over to this first inning. So you got to get out of this inning, get this 3rd out, get your batting helmets on, and start hitting the ball.
Which brings up a Westwood top half of the order, which has been very dangerous all year and certainly explosive as well. So they're certainly going to have their fair chances all game, but nothing better than the start of the game, the start of the Westwood's lineup chipping away right away. So we got 1 strike, 1 ball, and we got another strike called there. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Arthur, the center fielder for Hopkinton. 1-2 pitch from Mulkeen. Looks good. Just outside. Oh, look good from here.
It's tough with this ump, right? Because he raises his right hand, and you think it's going to be a strike, but he's just motioning that it's a bit outside. So we're going to have to get used to that.
We had to get used to that the other day. It might even been the same ump where that right hand came up, pitch just fouled off to the backstop. We saw that the other day in Millis where the ump would put up his right hand as if it was outside, but it also looks like the start of a strike 3 call. Took some getting used to, that's for sure.
Keeps you disciplined on your play-by-play call.
It does, exactly. So it's going to be 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Arthur up at the plate. Mulkeen with the pitch. And she's got it for strike 3. So strike 3 to end the top of the 3rd. Hopkinton scores 3 runs. So after 1/2 inning, Hopkinton 3, Westwood nothing. Leading off for the Wolverines is junior captain Sasha Marino, the shortstop.
This has been a relatively recent move. You know, Sasha has not hit a lot of leadoff. Tom is a believer that your best hitter should hit first.
Yeah.
In essence, to get that person up at the plate as many times as possible. But even still, Sasha not necessarily used to hitting leadoff. He had Bridget Mulkeen hitting leadoff, but he made that switch, and it has worked out pretty well since, and Sasha's adapted to it.
Sasha's going to take an inside ball. Sasha has been tearing the absolute cover off the ball. When we look at her numbers, 528 average, leads the team in hits, 28, leads the team in RBIs, 18, leads the team in runs with 21. Very productive at the bat this year for number 10 for the Wolverines. She gets a bat on that one, popped up in the infield, and the right fielder's gonna get in there to make the play. So a nice play there to get the first out for Hopkinton.
Morgan, bit of a surprise for me that Hopkinton came out with Addie Walls pitching. She's a freshman. This is the same girl who pitched against Westwood in the first matchup back in April. They've had a lot of success with Alex Riesenberger pitching, but Addie gets the call here. We'll see how it progresses.
Yep. Which brings up Dahlia Leiden to the plate, first base, number 3. Takes a call, or takes a strike. It's now 2 strikes. Dahlia been very productive at the plate thus far this year. 333 average. She had 2 hits, 3 RBIs versus Ashland on May 15th. 3 hits versus Medway on April 24th. That's gonna be a swing and a miss for a strikeout, and 2 outs now for Hopkinton.
You know, Dolls had been down at the bottom of the lineup. She was moved up to the 2 spot when they played Dedham. She's been there ever since. It's been a bit of an adjustment because she really hasn't hit that high in the order before. But he likes to put somebody there who can bunt if you need to bunt right there. But she has also delivered, not there, but long way to go.
Which brings up Abby Johnson. It makes a lot of sense, you know, and Dahlia's been a terrific runner when she's been on the base path. So when you have someone like that and Abby Johnson batting behind, Abby's been having a terrific year herself. She's been a 367 average. She gets hit by a pitch there and is going to take first base.
You know, that's not unusual either. When you go back to April 9th, and I told you Addie pitched for Hopkinton, she hit 3 batters.
Wow.
So it's not unusual. We also had 7 walks. So being patient is probably a key here for the green. And here you go, first opportunity for Westwood with a runner on base.
And you got the pitcher, Bridget Mulkeen, coming up to the plate, who Abby Johnson is going to take off for second. She's going to get there. So Abby Johnson in scoring position on a stolen base.
Just like that. Some good instinctive play. They've been working on that the last couple of games. We've seen that done by Sasha a couple of times. So good to see Abby. Again, really coachable, instinctive, picks up on things that she sees on the field and does it herself.
And with Mulkeen at the plate, Mulkeen certainly someone who can absolutely tear the cover off the ball and certainly score Abby from second if she gets one out there. And we've seen a number of different shots to the gap. She's got 3 home runs in the year. We remember seeing a home run versus Ashland. A good rip there. It's going to go just over the backstop. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for Mulkeen.
You know, Bridget sometimes swings at pitches that are high. And sometimes you want to say, hey, Bridge, lay off that. But I can't tell you how many times I have seen her hit a high pitch a long way.
Yes, she can still get the bat under the ball when it's high. And swing and a miss there. So strike out to end bottom half of the first inning, so after one full inning, Hopkinton 3, Westwood 0. Kicking off the top of the second inning, Hopkinton up 3-0 on Westwood. Had a productive top of the first. We are now, looks like the right fielder Trendle is going to lead off, the 9-hitter for Hopkinton. And Tom, I mean, we were talking about these dangerous hitters. A lot of these dangerous hitters, they were, you know, from the second hitter on to the 8th hitter. So I mean, that's a lot of talent you have to face just in one lineup alone, which is pretty intimidating.
You know, Norton is undefeated on the small side in the TVL, and I would put Hopkinton's lineup right up there against Norton because they put the bat on the ball nonstop.
Yep. Now, are many of these players, are they softball focused, softball only type athletes, or a lot of them, you know, yeah?
Let's see. Abby primarily focuses on softball, though she plays soccer as well.
Yep.
Sasha, as you know, is a fantastic hockey player.
Yep.
Amelia, I think, is going to shift her focus solely to softball. Dahlia just plays softball. Julia Tartufo in right plays softball. Mia is primarily softball.
Yep.
And Bella in left field is a very good field hockey player.
Oh, okay. So we got a good mix, which for a lot of years, softball at Westwood, when I was in Westwood, was a lot of multi-sport athletes. You know, there was really no summer leagues, town leagues. You know, it certainly has come a long way since then with the town leagues, the coaching, and the talent that we have here. Obviously, Westwood at 11-3. We haven't seen a record like that in softball in quite some time. And obviously a lot of buzz coming around the team.
Well, Tom deserves a lot of credit, Tom Grandy, because he was the one who really got these girls playing during the summer.
Yep.
He really built
and
up.
Swing and a miss there. So strikeout for Mulkeen, her second of the game.
So Tom built up what has become known as the Westwood Select program, and these girls have played 89 games together in the summer. And they won 69 of them. So they've had a very good success rate in these summer tournaments. So you hope that that translates into games like this, because this is what it's all about. That's why you play those summer league games, so that when it comes to varsity play, you're ready. Top of the order, huh?
Top of the order. Pitcher Walls up to the plate. Walls is going to get hit by a pitch, and she's going to take first base. So Walls is going to take first base, which is going to bring up Holden, the second base, playing second base for Hopkinton. Holden had a run in the first inning. So Mulkeen is dialed in at home plate, looking to get the second out for the Wolverines. It's a nice pitch there for a call strike. Both teams very spirited, cheering on their teams respectively. The good-looking pitch there again by Mulkeen, gets the second strike.
So we talked about this before the game. It is rare that Bridget will throw a ball in the strike zone on this pitch.
Yep.
So if she gets a 3-strike strikeout, it's typically out of the zone.
Yep. Well, in the zone, heading to right field, and a great catch there by Tartufo. Well positioned on that play. So Tom, something to maybe see is just the adjustments made after the first couple of hits in the first inning. Tartufo there in a perfect spot to make that play.
Big play. You're going to see a lot of activity playing right and right center today. And you got to make that catch. And she did, so now we got 2 outs.
2 outs. And 2 outs with Osman to the plate, the catcher. Oh, off-speed pitch there. Johnson's behind it, and it's going to be a foul ball. Nice off-speed pitch. We haven't seen too many of those. It's typically, when we do, it's for a strikeout with 2 balls, but she threw a nice off-speed pitch there, and the batter was certainly well ahead of that one. Oh, and another pitch. Great pitch there. That seemed like another off-speed pitch, which is very smart. Osman, she had a hit and an RBI in the first inning. You know, certainly Mulkeen is making some adjustments to these talented hitters for Hopkinton. 0-2 pitch. Oh, just low.
We'll get more into it as we progress here, but having Anissa Amarias on the bench there, who was a college pitcher herself, has been such a game changer this year, and she calls the pitches for Bridget and Izzy.
Oh, a great pitch, and she's got her for strike 3. Oh, no.
See?
Oh, yeah,
he
there's the confusion there.
He got you on his outside call.
Oh, my God, that pitch looked great. It looked great from out here. He had the right hand going up, but my fault. Apologies, folks. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner now on second. The 2-2 pitch, off speed, and that's got it. Great pitch there. Off speed pitch from Mulkeen to get the strikeout for the 3rd out. And as we wanted, Tom, a scoreless inning there. And after 1.5 innings, Hopkinton 3, Westwood nothing. We're coming up to the plate for Westwood. Number 8, Amelia O'Neill, playing second base for the Wolverines.
You touched on Abby Johnson and her parents having both played at the college level.
Yep.
Well, Amelia's mom, Ann, was a catcher for Providence.
Okay.
And her grandfather was a Gold Glove winning 3rd baseman for the Boston Red Sox, Joe Malzone. So she's got it in the genes as well. And she's been phenomenal at second base since she moved over there. She could really play anywhere, but she could win games and make picks at second.
Well, not surprising. Terrific athlete. We've seen a lot of great plays in the field. We also seen her very productive at the plate. A .311 average. She had 4 hits, 2 RBI versus Norwood, a monster game for her. Takes a ball inside with 2 balls and 1 strike.
So Izzy got hurt in the game against Medway this year, and Amelia had to go behind the plate. That's what really moved Dahlia to first.
Yeah.
And then when Izzy was healthy.
Oh, and a strikeout there for Walls. So, nope, it wasn't. So my apologies again. So it's just strike 2, so 2 balls, 2 strikes.
When Izzy got healthy, Amelia then moved to second, and they've been in that configuration ever since.
And Walls gets the strikeout there. So strikeout for the 1st out.
And here's Izzy Walsh. And as we set the stage for Izzy, who's a freshman, who's done just a phenomenal job behind the plate. You know, she struggled offensively, and it was really getting to her. And that's hard to do when you're catching. You know, you got to stay engaged. And many of us kept telling her, you know, when you start getting hits, they're going to be in the biggest games.
Absolutely.
And the bat has heated up. In the last game against Medfield, she roped one down the right field line that ended up being a triple. And I just hope she gets on base, because there's nobody more fun to watch run the bases than Izzy Walsh.
She is very smart, very patient at the plate. .419 on base percentage. And very patient, as we're seeing it here. So 2 balls, no strikes.
When you think about the fact that we got 7 walks against Hopkinton back in April, take a strike.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Be patient at the plate. Make them work a little.
Good cut there by Walsh. As you mentioned, though, Tom, she's certainly started to heat up at the plate. Her last 2 games, she's got 3 hits. You mentioned the triple she had in Medfield. She had 2 hits versus Millis for an RBI, a big RBI to open up the game, 1-0.
There you go.
So some terrific patience continued here by Walsh. 3 balls, 1 strike. Westwood certainly would love to get a base runner here. Cut into the Hoptown lead, and he's going to take a ball outside. So Walsh, the leader on the team with 11 walks, gets her 12th walk of the season.
So Mia Poles, who's up now, fantastic bunter. She can get it down if she needs to.
And she's going to cut at it, so fouled off behind home plate. What I've noticed too, Tom, on the bunts is it also forces the infield to be calm and collected, because if you throw a bad throw, it can really disrupt what's going on in the field, with runners then advancing to 3rd and 2nd versus getting the out. Cut there for 2 strikes, so no balls and 2 strikes after 2 consecutive foul balls.
So the big key for Mia has always been just plate discipline.
Yep.
Swing at strikes.
Yep.
Make sure that the ball that's coming across the plate is a strike. And when she does that, she gets hits.
Yep. Oh,
Ooh,
so
foul
that
ball.
looked like a foul ball cue
Off the
shot.
bat.
The old check swing foul ball. And staying alive. But patience is not only a good thing for getting on base, Tom, but you're forcing the pitcher to throw a lot of pitches. You want to get them to throw a lot of pitches. Runners going. Walsh is in there. So a stolen base for Izzy Walsh.
You know, that was a good call. She did get under, and
Absolutely.
I understand that we're right next to the Hopkinton cheering section,
Yes.
and that throw did beat her by 5 feet, but
Yes.
she got underneath the tag.
Unbelievable. Heads up, base running. She saw the tag was certainly there before she got there, but a great job by her to catch the side of the bag where the glove wasn't to get the safe call. And that's gonna be a strikeout there for Walls with her second strikeout of the game, and her third strikeout of the game, and 2 outs here on the top of the second.
So Julia Tartufo steps up. She's a freshman, and she's gotten a lot of key hits to right field. When she hits the ball, she hits it hard to right.
Well, ball gets away. Walsh is heading to third. So, Tom, something to keep an eye on. A pass ball, potentially score a run here. Izzy's got some speed. She certainly can make it happen. So, some potential for that. And that's why anytime you see third base puts a lot of pressure on that catcher to keep the ball in front of her.
And again, just be smart here. Make sure it's a strike if you're swinging.
And he's going to swing there.
That one a little high, right?
Yep, a little high. 1 ball,
So
1 strike.
That's what comes with experience. That's what comes with, being a little bit older. But again, I have full faith in Julia. She has ripped some to right center field this year. There you go.
Ball gets away. Walsh heading home, and she's going to get there.
On the board.
Big run there for Westwood. Cut into the Hopkinton lead, where it's now 3-1 Hopkinton. Huge.
So Julia is also the pitcher for the JV team, because
Yep.
you say what would happen if Bridget wasn't pitching
Yep.
every inning of every game.
Yep.
She has done a great job developing her pitching skills, but she actually got a hit in her first ever varsity at bat.
Good eye there. So it's going to be 3 balls and 1 strike to Tartufo. But pretty impressive though, Tom. Westwood's got contributors from freshmen. Tartufo, Walsh, and a swing and miss there to complete the count, 3-2.
You got another one coming up after Julia in Bella Gentile.
Bella Gentile.
And we'll
yep.
tell her story when she steps up, because she's got a good one as well.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes to the right fielder Tartufo, and that's going to be strike 3 called. So after 2.5 innings, Westwood able to get a run there to cut into the lead. It's going to be Hopkinton 3, Westwood 1. We're kicking off the top of the third. Apologies, folks. We have Paharik, the shortstop for Hopkinton. Paharik walked in the first inning, scored a run, takes a cut there, fouled. We were watching Paharik early on, taking warm-up, and my goodness, very talented. She's got quick hands. Just looks like she's been playing softball her whole life, which I'm sure she has. But what a player they have here in the TVL. Amongst all the teams that they play, a lot of competitive ones. She's certainly one that sticks out. Nice pitch there inside. It's going to be fouled.
We have seen a ton of great shortstops, and before we started the broadcast, you and I were talking about, I don't know exactly how the TVL actually picks their all-stars, if it's just infield, because they could probably have 4 shortstops, because we have seen some phenomenal shortstops in all the games. And it's a lot like, when football players go to college and they're suddenly wide receivers, many of them are quarterbacks in high school. You put your best player a lot of times at short, and she's clearly their best defensive player.
Ooh, Hark's going to turn in on that one. It's going to head towards the left field gap on the ground. Picked up by Gentile. She's going to throw it over to Marino. Marino throwing to third base. And Hark's going to get there for the stand-up triple. So lead-off triple for Hopkinton to kick off the top of the 3rd inning here, which is going to bring up the first baseman win.
Holly's hitting .552 coming into today's game.
That was an impressive hit. She kind of went, it was an inside pitch. She opened up the hips and was able to get that into the left field gap for a triple. But it's a good point you make, though, about those shortstops. Kind of reminds me, Tom, of the 99, 98 Major League Baseball when you had Jeter, Rodriguez, Garcia Parra,
Tejada.
Guillen. Who do you go with? Tejada, yeah. Runner, the batter shows bunt.
I mean, right there. That is an incredibly difficult play for a catcher to make.
Yes.
And it basically
Yes.
just saved
Saved
a
a
run.
run.
And that's the
Absolutely.
kind of stuff that catchers don't typically get a lot of credit for.
Yep.
But she had to fully extend herself to make that catch.
Yep. Pitch from Malkeen. Another tough one. Almost reminds me like in football when you see a defensive back run down a running back who's looking to score a touchdown and get him at the 1 yard line. You never know.
You never know.
4 plays in a row, if you keep them out of the end zone, if you get 3 outs in a row, it all was because of that one play. Swing and a miss there. Nice pitch there by Malkeen. Get the strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike to win. Fouled off to the right side.
So Tom's got them playing, I would say, halfway in.
Yep.
The good news is they're good fielders,
Yep.
and they're instinctive, and they can stop the ball, hit hard at them.
Yep.
It's just so risky when you have such good hitters like Hopkinton
Yeah.
does. You're
Yep.
giving them so much more field to play
Yep.
with.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, just fouled off there by Wynn. A nice fastball by Malkeen. Now, if a ball's hit where they're positioned, and say where Marino's position, where Johnson's position, can they get a quick enough throw to home plate to get that runner going home?
If the runner's going,
If
no
the
question
runner's
about
going,
it. Yeah, the real thing is you want to hold that runner
wanna
at
hold
third, get the out at first, and hope that she doesn't go. And if she does, Dahlia can throw him out.
Ball is in
But-
play, heading in the gap. That's going to score a run for Hoptown. So Pole's going to throw it into second, and that's a single and an RBI for Wynn.
So Caroline Kane's up, and she walked last time. Remember, we mentioned it at first. Her first at bat, she was 4 for 4 in the game back in April. So
Yep.
she has done some damage throughout the year.
So we haven't seen her put a bat on a ball yet today, but there we do. Malkeen's going to pick it up, throw to first, and a great play there to get the out. Great play. Absolute rocket over to Leiden on the first base bag. So good play there. You want to get your first out of the inning. When you got a pitcher like Malkeen on the mound, she could go back-to-back strikeouts too. So there's always that opportunity, but you got to start off with that first out. Going to bring Adams to the plate. Adams going to hit it down to Johnson, and Johnson makes the play for the second out. So 2 quick outs there. Runner advances to third. And Westwood doing a good job of just grinding through the inning. Started off with a leadoff triple, able to score that runner, but since then had 1 hit and 2 consecutive outs.
You just really want to focus on the batter here.
Yep.
Keep everything in front of you for the catcher. You don't want to run a score on a wild pitch.
Which brings up Arthur, the center fielder for Hopkinton. Arthur struck out in her last at-bat. Malkeen with 3 strikeouts so far on the day. A ball is going to head down the first base line. Leiden's going to pick it up, touch the bag, and that's the 3rd out. So 1 run scored for Hopkinton here in the top of the 3rd, and after 2.5 innings, I think it's 2.5, Hopkinton 4, Westwood 1. So bottom of the 3rd inning here, we got Bella Gentile, coming to the plate for the Wolverines. Bella, a freshman.
So Bella gets thrown right in there this year, Morgan, and in the first game against Holliston, boom, boom, 2 hits. It's like, okay, we'll take that.
Good patience there.
Listen, you tell the people who are at the bottom of your order,
Yeah.
with the girls who are coming up after you, get on base. If
Absolutely.
you get on base, you're going to score.
Yep.
So that's the mindset they have to have.
Cut there, fouls it off. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike for Gentile. Shows bunt. Ball hits the ground. Does it stay on there? And they're going to say foul. Looked close to the line, but foul ball ultimately.
I guess you can ultimately tell by the urgency of the defense, right?
Yes.
Kinda...
There was, you know, body language could say a thing. If you got the umpire down the left field line, I would do that every time. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gentile. Gets a cut on that one.
Nice.
Fouls to the backstop. So she also had 2 hits, 1 RBI versus Dover Sherborne this year, Gentile. Both Gentile and Tartufo, big games versus Dover Sherborne this year. Ball's in play over the short. Paharik on it. He's going to get the first out.
There's a look at Holly's arm. I mean, listen, the Norwood shortstop is fantastic.
Yep.
They're probably right there. When we played Norwood, the plays at short were phenomenal. And here's the top of our order. We got to get these sticks going.
Yep. So Marino, Sasha Marino, junior captain, now up at the plate with 1 out, the bottom of the 3rd. He's going to take a pitch inside. Marino popped out in her first at-bat.
Blessing and a curse for Sasha is that she can hit anything. You know, wherever the ball is, she can put the bat on the ball. So the toughest thing for Sasha is to be patient, but she can also get a lot of hits.
Yes, and she gets the bat on there. Paharik's going to pick it up, throw it at first. It's high. It's going to get away. So Marino now going to work her way to second base on an overthrow on the throw.
That ball went out of play, so I'll be curious to see what the ruling is.
It's a great point. Is it a dead ball where she gets 2 bases and able to get to 3rd? I don't see the umpires talking, so it looks like she's going to stay on second.
Everyone's content with Sasha at second base.
Yep. Which is going to bring up Dahlia Leiden, first base for Westwood. Ball inside. Good eye there from Leiden. Westwood now, they're doing a good job of taking that first pitch. We've seen the last couple batters taking it, and you know, some of them have been balls. Get a couple more folks on base. Could certainly continue to cut into that Hopkinton lead. And it's going to call strike there. That looked a little bit low and inside.
Right.
We've seen better pitches called for balls. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. A cut there by Leiden. This will be 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Walls so far has thrown a good amount of pitches. Ball is going to be popped up, and it's going to be played by a third base for the second out. So that's going to bring Abby Johnson to the plate. Abby, third base for Westwood. As mentioned, she had a very productive game versus Hopkinton in their first matchup with 5 RBIs. Looking to get 1 here with Marino on second. Takes a first pitch ball. Marino goes to third, and she gets there. So a nice stolen base there by Marino.
A little delayed steal. She was waiting to see if the catcher was going to react, and I don't think the catcher was going to throw it down to second, and actually she had to make the decision to go. And I mean, a clean throw might have gotten her, but sometimes you got to take some risks.
Yep, and as mentioned, a pass ball potentially score a run. Scored Walsh last inning, and it's going to put pressure on the pitcher and the catcher to throw strikes or throw balls in the strike zone area, and also to stay in front of the ball. So 2 balls, no strikes to Johnson. Oh, cut there, nice cut there by Abby. Marino looks like she's in the starting block for the 100-yard dash, ready for anything.
I wish you could be closer to the bench so that you could just feel her energy.
Yes.
There is nobody I've been around who has more energy than Sasha with her teammates.
Inside pitch, called strike. They're going to check in on Marino. She's safe. There's another pitch that looked somewhat questionable from out here, but called strike, which evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Westwood looking to cut into the 4-1 lead by Hopkinton. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Walls gets the strikeout. Walls gets the strikeout there to end the inning. So Hopkinton still up 4-1. So kicking off the top of the 4th inning, we have a pinch hitter. Levine is going to pinch hit for Trendle, who's playing right field. Tom, question for you: in baseball, you can have a pinch hitter, and the person who you're hitting for can continue to play in the game. Is that the same for softball?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and a good pitch there by Malky. And from what I understand, it was a rule that started around 2015, and it was trying to get more people involved in the game with running and hitting and still allowing players to methodically still be in the game, scenario-wise.
So Trendell could come back once.
Yep.
If she is taken out again, she cannot be put back in.
Okay.
So you can be put back in the game once, but if you're subbed for a second time, you cannot go back in.
So it really does make these games somewhat like a chess match with matchups and how players are playing in certain scenarios. It's gonna be a ball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And there it is. We talked about it before. You're not going to see a lot of third pitch 0-2 balls in the strike zone. I'd expect to see one here hard.
Absolutely. Malkeen looking to kick off the inning with a strikeout. Ball is in play over to Johnson. Gets away, and a runner's going to get to first. So Levine makes it to first on a error to third base. Looked like there was, when the ball was in the glove, it slipped out. Tough because, at third base, you're almost, on the gun where you got to make a quick play to get that throw to first. So Levine gets to first base, brings up the leadoff hitter Walls, who's also the pitcher. Walls fouls off the first pitch. Walls has been pretty productive so far on the mound. Got a good amount of strikeouts, but doing a good job of keeping the ball around the infield, particularly where a ball hits sharply through the right side of the infield, and she's going to get a base hit. The runner does advance, so Levine advances to third with Walls on the single. That was a sharply hit ball right in between the gap, the first base, second base gap for the single.
So now you got trouble, and now you got to work your way out of this trouble somehow.
Yep.
You got to be thinking, obviously, at this point, no run scored with that run on third.
Yep.
And just do everything you can to record outs.
Exactly.
And I know he's got Amelia in at second. He's got Sasha kind of halfway at short, and Abby's even with the bag at third, even more.
Well, inside pitch, runner's going to third. They check in on, or runner was going to second. They check in on third. Runner was safe. So looks like they brought in a pinch runner for Walls to steal that base. But as you mentioned, Tom, Bridges probably focused on the batter, trying to get the out here. Strikeouts are huge. Nice pitch there, called strike.
Right, so Addie's the pitcher, so she gets a courtesy runner if she wants one. So that's who's running at first base, the courtesy runner for Walls. And then Levine's still at third base.
Ball fouled off at home plate, so Malkeen able to get 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Westwood looking to get their first out here. Runners on second and third. Ball is in play. Malkeen gets a glove on it, throws it home, and she gets the out. So smart play there. Malkeen throwing home to get the runner going home.
Fantastic play all the way around. That is incredibly hard to catch at the plate.
Yep.
Bridget had to position herself to throw it on target, and Izzy had to catch it and then make the tag.
Evan, we might have to add that one to the reel. Just smart play there. She looked to first too, as if she was going to throw. Saw the runner coming, threw it to Walsh. It was a fast throw to Walsh. Walsh got the tag. So ball's in play. That's going to get through Marino, and the runner's going to score. Runner advancing to third. She's going to get around and score as well. So 2 runs scored on that. Double there. And that was Osman on the double. So Osman with the double, 2-run double to put Hopkinton up 6-1. Which is not going to make it any easier for Westwood, bringing up the shortstop Paharik to the plate. Paharik
So we've
already
got
2 runs.
Another courtesy runner.
Yep.
now on second base, and Puharich up at the plate. I mean, at this point, you just got to, if it was me, just jam her inside. You got to
Yep.
do everything you can to keep that pitch inside.
Yep. Cut there, fouled it off her foot.
Just like that. That's what happens. If you keep the ball inside, that's pretty much all they can do with it. If you're aggressive like Holly is,
Yep.
it's very hard to back off of the plate.
And Mulkeen, it looked like, tried to do that 2 innings ago, and Puharich's able to open up the hips, and she was able to put it in that gap. So impressive, not only in the field but hitting. Down to Johnson, and Johnson gets the out. Checking in on third, the runner is safe. So Westwood gets their second out on the ground out there. Johnson with the put out. This is going to bring up Wynn, first base for Hopkinton. Wynn with a hit, an RBI, in her 2 at-bats so far. Just inside for Mulkeen.
I still like it though. I think that's where she's got to go with this lineup.
Yeah.
These guys have shown that they can hit the ball.
Yeah.
If it's over the plate, high, low, any place over the plate, they can get to it. They've hit a lot to right field. Those are outside pitches. So any success moving forward is going to have to be on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah.
Inside and low.
She did it with Puharich, and it seems like when it's well positioned, it's going to jam them. You're going to jam them, and you're going to get a loose ground ball down the left line like that, but gets through the infield. And that's a 1-run single for Wynn. So Wynn with another hit and another RBI.
Just a hitting machine. And here comes Kane. Now, Kane hasn't done damage in this game, but she has done damage this year. You can see, we talked about it, they've outscored their opponents in the last 6 games 74-11. They have so much momentum, and they've just piled on right here. Got to get an out.
Good.
Get back to the dugout and start hitting the ball.
Yep.
I forget exactly what the deficit was against Dedham, but it was something similar to this, and we actually came back and I believe tied the score.
Good look.
So it's not
there.
impossible, Morgan.
No.
It's particularly in softball where things happen fast. They just got to put, 2 things have to happen. They got to put the bat on the ball, and they got to play tight defense. They got to start making plays that are in some instances beyond what you would expect.
Yep. Yeah, if you can keep their lead where it is, and to chip away, or even just tie, put a bunch of runs up in an inning, that's a big situation for Westwood. Something they're certainly capable of doing with their lineup. Pitcher Mulkey, nice pitch. It's a swing and miss. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Kane, the left fielder for Hopkinton. 2-2 pitch our way. Leiden gets a glove on it, but it gets away. Runner advances to third, so Wynn works to third, and Kane is on first with 2 outs, bringing up Adams to the plate. So it was a sharply hit ball. It was kind of in that gap area. Ball hit the ground. Amelia was trying to get the ball over, and ball got away, but no foul. No runner scored. If you get the out here, Westwood gets out of the inning. A nice pitch there. So 1 first pitch strike there from Mulkeen on Adams. Adams with 1 hit, 2 RBIs so far today. Just another dangerous Hopkinton hitter at the plate. Takes a ball high. But you make a good point, Tom. When you get the bats going, start testing Hopkinton's defense. Except shortstop. Don't hit it to shortstop. She'll get everything. A cue shot heading down to right field. But start testing the outfield. Start testing, the right side of the infield with some sharply hit ground balls.
Hold them down right here, and you got a good part of the order coming up.
Yep. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch from Mulkeen. It's going to be low. It's going to even the count 2-2. We got a score update on Westwood baseball. Hopkinton's up 1-0 over Westwood in the second inning, third inning. So Hopkinton up 1-0 on Westwood in the third inning. Bat is going to get on it in play, and it's going to land short right field for a hit, which is going to score a run. And the throw gets away, and Hopkins is going to score another one. So 2 runs scored there on the play. It's going to put Hopkinton up 8-1.
I think that'll probably get it to 9. That'll get it to 9.
I think you're right. Yeah, so that should get Hopkinton up 9-1. And that puts Adams on third base. It's going to bring Arthur up to the plate. Arthur's playing center field. Westwood looking to get out of this inning. And we're going to a visit to the mound.
So this gives us a chance to talk a little bit about Anissa. So Anissa Amarias is a former pitcher for Villanova who happens to be a math teacher here at Westwood High School. So she is my daughter Dahlia's math teacher. And I remember during parent night, I said, wait, you pitched where? She said, Villanova.
Yeah.
And she not only pitched to Villanova, but she pitched to Villanova when they won the Big East and advanced to the NCAA tournament. So to have somebody like her on the bench, and you know, she wasn't just talking to Bridget right there, she was talking to the whole team.
Yep.
And they just need to be reeled in, and to have somebody with her experience who's been in situations like this before is key.
Yeah, just the psyche. She's certainly been in those positions before, and you know, it's no one more qualified to give that advice than someone who's been in the arena for that. And what a great addition Westwood has on their staff. Nice pitch there by Malkeen. Fouled off there by Arthur. So we still see an 8-1 on the scoreboard, and also the game changer app. So we'll double check in on, we'll double click on that, but
no,
now it's updated 9-1. Okay. So 9-1. So 2 strikes now. Malkeen, Westwood looking to get out of the inning and to get the bats back in their hand to get back into the action. That was just outside for a called ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Heading down the right side. Line's going to step on the bag for the out. So 3 outs to get out of the inning here. Westwood coming back up to the plate. Cut into the Hopkinton lead. Kicking off the bottom of the 4th inning. Westwood looking to cut into a 9-1 Hopkinton lead. We got Bridget Malkeen coming to the plate. So we have a new right fielder for Hopkinton, 7 coming into the game. I believe I have a number 7.
Trendle coming back in.
Oh, Trendle's coming back in after
for.
getting pinch hit. So as you mentioned, if she gets pinch hit for again, she's out of the game. Oh, good cut there by Malkeen. Fouls it off to the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trendle's been somewhat active in the right field so far for Hopkinton. A couple hits, she's made some good plays on in the outfield. Nice eye there by Malkeen.
Morgan, hitting is contagious.
Yes.
So you just got to start getting some people on and some belief in those who are following you in the order.
Yep.
Right now we haven't had a lot of action, so there hasn't been that confidence trickling down.
Big cut there. So that's going to be a strikeout. So Walls with the strikeout on Malkeen to kick off the inning.
You got to give Addie credit. You know, she has not pitched a lot of games recently.
Yep.
And for her to come in here and do as well as she's done today is very commendable. Very commendable.
Well, when you got the hitters behind you that she has, there's certainly a level of confidence. And she's showing it. Gets a swing and a miss there. Amelia O'Neill at the plate for the Wolverines, number 8, and junior. Takes a they're going to call that a strike inside. Woo! So no balls, 2 strikes now for O'Neill. Good eye there by O'Neill. Takes the ball high. Yeah, it seems like softball is similar to golf, where if you hit bad shots, the body language isn't the same, you know. But when you get birdies and stuff, you're swinging free. Nice cut there by O'Neill. Fouls that off to the backstop.
The other thing that any team that's just starting to feel themselves needs to experience is the focus and hunger that Hopkinton came in with today. You know, Westwood's the team that won that first matchup.
Yes.
And these are teenagers.
Oh, and a good hit there by O'Neill. It's heading to center field, but what a play by the center fielder there. My goodness, that was number 4 for Hopkinton, Callie Arthur. Tracked that down. It was over her head.
Smoked it, and that's where this field comes to bite you, because in many other places that we've played road games, that would be right up against the fence, if not over the fence.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference when you play at this field, because I've never seen anyone hit it anywhere near the fence on the fly.
It's like Minute Maid Park with 440 feet to center field.
Yeah.
But able to track that down. Nice play there by Arthur. Going to bring Walsh up to the plate. Walsh walked her first at bat. Was able to score on a pass ball. So she's doing her typical patience at the plate. Oh, actually, it looks like one of the pitches was a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, another inside strike. So that's been a consistent pitch for this umpire, is inside, or it looks inside. It's been in the strike zone. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Walsh going to swing and miss. So Walsh with another strikeout to end the Westwood at-bats there. I'm just going to bring him back out to the field. So still 9-1, Hopkinton through 4. Kicking off the top of the 5th inning. Hopkinton up 9-1.
So here's Trendle batting lefty.
She going for the swinging bunt.
Yeah, well, the little slap effort. You know, when someone steps up in the left-handed batter's box, you have to expect that's what they're looking to do. Get that little running start, get the ball in play, and try to beat it out.
She's got some speed. We've seen her track down a couple balls to the outfield and left field. Gonna take a ball there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trendle was pinched hit in her last at-bat. She was 0 for 1 on the day. Takes a call strike.
Now let's see what she does.
Yep.
She's gonna stay on the left side.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll see somebody, when they get 2 strikes, go over the other side.
Yeah. Oh, and she's got a strikeout there for Malkeen. Kick off the top of the 5th inning. That's her 4th strikeout of the game. And a great way to start off the top of the inning. Westwood looking to get a 1-2-3 inning, get right back up at the plate.
And here's the player of the game so far. I mean, Addie's been phenomenal on
both.
In the circle.
Yep, in the circle and at the plate. She had a big hit her last time at bat. So Walsh took a ball there. Just outside there, so 2 balls and no strikes. Oh, just inside, it is called strike, so it hit that strike zone we were talking about, which has been consistent for the umpire, just on the inside portion of the plate. So 2 balls. It says 2 balls and 2 strikes. I don't know if we have 2 strikes, but we'll see. So 1 out, 2 balls. Ball is in play. Johnson gets a glove on it. Throw to first for the out. So 2 quick outs for the Wolverines to kick off the top of the 5th.
Solid play.
Yep.
You have to be instinctive to make a
Yes.
play like that. You got to be ready for it and just basically expect the fact that the ball is going to come to you.
Yes.
And that's the type of athlete that you have to have at third base, and that's why Abby's played third base so well for 2 years.
Absolutely. And she's still only a sophomore. Nice pitch there by Malkeen. But Westwood just looking for some small victories, get some momentum going. You know, if the bats have been quiet, they're certainly starting to get a momentum in the field, and also with Malkeen at the plate, getting another big strikeout to kick off the inning. He's got 4 so far on the day. The fielders are starting to feel comfortable in the diamond as well.
That says something right there. 5th inning, 4 strikeouts.
Yep.
Typically a bit more in that column.
Yes.
That shows you how good Hopkinton can hit the ball.
Yes. Hopkinton has been very impressive. You know, as we said, they look like once they came off that bus, they were ready. They were ready for the bats, ready to play, just ready for a big-time matchup. Ball is high. There's going to be 3 balls and 1 strike. A 3-1 pitch from Malkeen. It's going to be ball 4. So that will put the runner on base, which was Holden, and it's going to bring up the catcher. Osmoon, who's had a very productive day. Ball gets away from Walsh. The runner's going to advance to second. So Holden gets to second. Westwood just going to try and get this out at home, or get the batter out to get out of the top of the 5th inning here. Malkeen, great looking pitch there, gets the strike.
You mentioned it, Osman's already done damage, already 3 RBIs in this game, so she's knocked in 1/3 of the runs we've seen cross the plate for Hopkinton.
Oh, and a ball just outside there for Malkeen. And she's been pretty darn good behind the plate, too. Been 1 pass ball we saw in the Walsh run. A nice play there by Marino to get the 3rd out. So that's going to end the top of the 5th inning. Hopkinton's still up 9-1. So Westwood coming back up to the plate. Mia Pohl's going to lead off for Westwood.
Take anything you can get right here, Morg, whether it's a walk, hit by pitch.
Anything.
Maybe ball gets put in play, make them run around, throw it around the
Absolutely.
infield. Just get something started early.
Yep, find a way to get on base. Oh, and Pohl's active right from that pitch, looking to square off on a bunt. She missed on that, so it's a strike. Looking to bunt, she does. She gets it on the ground, going to force a throw, and she gets on base safely. So there you go, Tom. Find a way to get on base, start from there. Well-positioned bunt by Poles. It was somewhat down the line on the 3rd base side. Forced the 3rd base player to run up on it. Kind of juggled it and chose not to throw. Poles got there safely. And now we're going to have the umpires have a conversation here. We know what the possibility of that conversation's about? Is it?
All I could possibly think is that somehow the Hopkinton coach might have suggested that Mia may have made a move towards second base. But
okay.
Even still, she's not obligated to go.
Correct, okay.
But I don't know what else that could have been.
Yep.
So here's Julia in a good spot.
Yep, big spot for freshman right fielder, showing bunt. Did she hold? I don't know. They're going to say no, so that's a strike. But you know, even with these plays and the bunt plays, you're putting a little panic in on Hoptown. Showing bunt, pops it up. It's going to land foul, so it's 2 strikes. One thing we noticed the other day is we've seen bunt attempts with 2 strikes. We typically haven't seen that in baseball, but softball, is that more common, getting, still going for the bunt attempt with 2 strikes?
Well, here it comes, and it's something that's not all that common. Tom does it pretty regularly.
We are seeing bunt. She pulls back. Smart choice, looking for the pickle. She's going to second base, and she gets in there. So great job by Poles. She forced the throw. Once the throw was going to first, she darted for second and got second base safely. It's very small, but those small things add up. This is exactly what Westwood needs. You got someone on first. Now you got a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And the top of the order is right around the corner.
And she's hitting here. The bunt is not on here.
Yep, so she's hitting here. Tartufo, very capable. Shows bunt, holds back again, so certainly a distraction right now for potentially Walls, the pitcher. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. You got Poles at second base. Tartufo shows bunt again and another ball. So certainly it may be a distraction seeing that bunt. And she's forced a full count. So from an 0-2 count, she now has a 3-2 count. Poles on second. Showing bunt again. She does bunt. That's fouled and caught. So that's going to be out. But a good battle nonetheless. She probably got about 6 pitches out of Walls there, which might not be a big deal, but when you look at the pitches she's thrown, she's certainly not going to have the same fastball now as she did in the first inning.
Sometimes Tom just feels that a batter's best opportunity to make something happen is to bunt the ball.
Yep.
And his philosophy is that you get 3 chances to do it.
Yep.
And if you can't do it, it's your own fault, really.
Yep.
So unfortunately, that one wasn't gotten down. But here's the top of the lineup, and we'll see if Sasha can knock this run in.
Yep. Because if Sasha knocks a run in, she's on base, and then you got, after her, you got Leiden, you got Johnson, you got Mulkeen. So, you got quite a bit of talented hitters at the top of the order coming in to try and bring Poles in.
You do not see many swings and misses from Sasha Moreno.
No.
You really don't. It's rare to see that.
A good rip there. Looks like it's going to get in play, and it does. It lands in the gap. So Poles is going to score. Moreno is heading to second base for the stand-up double. So Westwood's starting to show some life here now. Getting a run there. Cutting into the Hopkinton lead now 9-2, which is going to bring up Leiden to the plate.
It's got to chip away.
Yep.
Can't say my anxiety level is low right now.
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere, It's just like in the Patriots 28-3 Super Bowl game, they had to start somewhere. Big score there. Moreno on the double, Poles scoring from second.
Gonna be a heck of a story, Morgan.
It was, and it's gonna be all captured, Tom, on Westwood Media Center. A swing and a miss there. It's gonna be 2 strikes.
She's got to just focus in. Just got to make sure it's a strike. Keep your eye on the ball and just make contact. You're not gonna hit the ball out of this park, so just get the bat on the ball.
A single will most likely score Moreno. Well positioned there on second base. Good eye there, ball gets away. Moreno's gonna get to third. So Moreno now on third. This is gonna be 1 ball, 2 strikes to Leiden. Ball is in play, goes to Walls. Walls throws on to first to get the third out. So after 6 innings, Hopkinton 9, Westwood 2. So Maddie McMahon now in at left field for Westwood.
Right field. Maddie's in
right
right. Yeah, 2 Maddies, so a little confusing. Maddie
Yes.
McMahon in right field for Julia Tartufo. Madeline Brown in left field for Bella Gentile.
In left field for Gentile. So it's going to bring up Hopkinton. Is this
This is Paharic.
Oh, gosh. Oh,
Hey.
it gets the jams her there and gets the first out. So as you were saying, Tom, is throw some inside fastballs to her. She does, gets a 1 pitch, 1 out. Nice pitch there by Malkeen. So Westwood slowly starting to kind of, get a little confidence going, both in the field and at the plate as well. Oh, strike called there. Nice pitch by Malkeen. Oh, just outside.
And the toughest thing to do as a team grows is just teach them how to maintain that confidence.
Yep.
Whether it's in a game or over the course of a season.
Yep.
So many times it doesn't really matter how you start.
Oh, very high hit ball popped up in the infield. O'Neill gets under for the out. Nice play there by O'Neill. That was one of the higher pop outs I've seen on this field.
Brought down a little rain.
It did. A little rainmaker.
And here comes Kane. I think I've jinxed her by saying how damaging she's been because she killed Westwood in that first matchup.
Yes.
There's no question about it.
Bridget's
4 for 4.
Bridget's done a good job keeping her at bay. Nice pitch there by Malkeen. Gets first pitch strike. But Hopkinton seems like one of those teams, they put a quick 6 spot in an inning, and it certainly makes the team, play uphill. It seemed like, you're playing against an 800-pound gorilla with that type of offense. 2 strikes. Malkeen looking to get the strikeout to end the inning. And a great pitch there by Malkeen. She does. And that's her 5th strikeout of the game. And the top of the 6th. So bottom of the 6th inning now. Abby Johnson leading it off for Westwood.
As Yogi said, it ain't over.
It ain't over.
Till it's over.
Till it's over. Oh, good cut there by
There we
Johnson's going to get a single into right field. So first pitch, right on top of that, over the right field first base gap area for the single.
I'm laughing because Abby had a situation against Medfield in the last game where she slipped on the grass, and it was debatable whether she was making a move to second or not, and they actually did call her out because she got tagged out returning to the bag.
Oh.
Yeah, tough. So it was funny to see how she ran straight through the base towards right field.
So if you make just the smallest little inflection towards second, you could technically get tagged for the out.
You have to get yourself back to the base safely.
Okay.
So if they tag you before you get to the base, yes, you're out.
So similar to baseball as well.
Right.
You got to get back to the base.
Right.
Where you mostly, for the most part, if they're running it out, you see them go out of bounds area on that line.
Yeah.
It was a good cut there by Malkeen. The 1 ball and 1 strike to the Wolverine pitcher. Ball is on the ground, good play, or actually gets by the catcher, and Johnson's gonna get to second. So Westwood starting to get active on the base paths the last couple innings, advancing runners. Now we have a runner on second with no outs. And some good hitters at the plate and to follow. Good eye there by Malkeen, steps away from an inside pitch.
Yeah, good stop by the catcher too.
Yeah, absolutely. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Tom, do you give her the green light here, or do you, force her to throw a strike? And she's going to throw a ball. So Johnson going to third, and she gets there safely. And now Malkeen is going to, wow, so Abby's going home. Does she get under the throw?
Oh,
and she's out. Oh, my goodness.
I don't know about that one, Morgan.
I don't know either.
I don't know about that one.
It looked like the throw beat her, but she was under the tag. I didn't see the tag anywhere near her.
I don't think he did either.
No, but needless to say, Malkeen advances to second. She was looking for the pickle play there, have Abby go back door for the score, but called out at home. So that's the first out here in the bottom of the 6th.
I think Tom's going to ask for some help here because, he really was not looking at that tag.
No, he
And
wasn't.
He has one chance
Yep.
to ask for help, and I don't know exactly what was said there, but
Yep.
what Tom can do is he can ask the umpire to ask for
To
help.
check the
And if
other
the
ass.
umpire chooses to not ask for help, that's his own discretion. But,
Yep.
you know,
As they say in sales, Tom, the answer is no if you don't ask.
correct.
It's going to bring up O'Neill to the plate. Amelia O'Neill, second base for Westwood, looking to drive Malkeen in. She had an absolute frozen rope earlier to center field. The center fielder made a great play tracking that down. On this big field here at Westwood High, very deep outfield. She hit it to the deeper parts. That's fouled off behind home plate. Going to go into the tree line.
There's
Might wanna
nobody.
leave that one there.
There's nobody more entertaining to watch on a foul ball than Bridget's mom, Mary, who we just saw scurry.
Getting out of the
Basically,
way, yeah.
if there's a ball that's within, I don't know, 30 yards of Mary, she's running for the hills. She showed up at a game once with a football helmet. It was kind of funny.
Ooh, did that hit her? I don't know. It was close. They're going to say no. So you're saying she showed up to a football game?
She showed up to a softball game with a
game.
football helmet.
I mean, that's got to be intimidating when you got the pitcher's mom behind home plate. You got a wild pitch. Malkeen's going to advance to third. I would be intimidated if I'm behind home plate and the pitcher's mother is right next to me wearing a football helmet. I'm calling a big strike zone. So O'Neill's going to have 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Got Malkeen on third. Westwood looking to get their third run across the plate. Nice play there by the catcher. Stay in front of that. It's going to create a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, you're thinking 2 ways right here. You got 1 out, and you really want to get the lineup turned over right. You want to be able to, understanding you need a lot of runs, you got to get a lot of people on base as well, right?
Good pitch there by Walls to get the strikeout for the second out here in the bottom of the 6th. Walls has been terrific for Hopkinton.
So this is the 6th spot in the order with Izzy.
So first pitch ball. Walls with 10 strikeouts on the day.
Wow.
Very productive day for her. She's been terrific at bat as well. She's been all world today for Hopkinton.
And she's a freshman, to put that in perspective.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And when I looked at the Hopkinton roster, folks, 3 seniors. So Hopkinton, they are going to be around for some time, inflicting damage on their TVL foes. So good cut there by Walls. 2 balls and 1 strike. Walsh done a good job behind home plate. Takes a call strike. But also, to Westwood's point, a lot of freshmen for Westwood, Walsh being one of them. Tartufo, Gentile, and another strikeout. So Walls gets her 11th strikeout here to end the top or the bottom of the 6th. Hopkinton 9, Westwood 2. The top of the 7th inning. Hopkinton coming back to the plate. Pitching line for Malkeen so far through 6 innings, 7 hits, 9 runs, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Ball is in play. Marino's got a glove on it, throws to first for the first out, so 1 pitch, 1 out.
I got to count it up, Morgan, but I think that might be 7 straight retired, which
I think you're right.
pretty remarkable.
Yeah, which, you know, just shows that, you know, I think Hopkinton just came out with a bee under their bonnet. They were, you know, certainly looking for some revenge from that first loss they had, which was a terrific win for Westwood, a crushing loss for Hopkinton early on in the season under the lights in Hopkinton. And, you know, came out looking to jump on Westwood early, which they did. And now Westwood, you know, in the later innings certainly playing the softball that we've been accustomed to seeing them play all year.
And if nothing else, no matter how this ends today,
Yep.
it's a lesson to remember moving forward. For
Nice pitch.
most of this team, all but one who should be back next year
Yep.
and has now experienced that. You know,
Yep.
when you see teams a second go round,
Yep.
they're going to have a completely different mindset when they face you.
Yes. Yes.
And you have to account for that.
Yep.
You almost have to have amnesia. You got to forget the fact that you played them.
Yes.
And
yes.
if you don't, and you have even a single memory of that previous game, it's not going to serve you well.
Yep. You got to have a short memory. It's one pitch at a time.
But as we've said, this offense for Hopkinton has just been ridiculous. So including today,
Yeah.
their last 7 games, they now have it up to 83-13. They've outscored their opponents, including us today.
Just some gifted players. You know. Oh, strike 3 called there. So strike 3 called for the second out for Westwood. That's Mulkeen on the strikeout, her 6th strikeout of the day. Which, you know, Tom, what's that now? 8 outs in a row
Yeah.
for Westwood. So
Can we play 9 innings?
yeah, can we restart from 2.5 innings ago? Westwood really starting to play the softball that we've been accustomed to see the last few innings. Nice pitch there by Mulkeen, fouled off, hits Walsh. She's going to walk it off. Tough kid.
So this is once again the same player who hit for Trendle the
That's
first
right.
time.
Okay.
So now Trendle
So
cannot
Trendle's
go
out.
back in.
Trendle's out.
Right.
So this was Levine, I believe.
Right.
Yep. Who got on? I believe she was on. Might have been an infield hit or an error, but she got on to lead the inning off when she started. It's a strike on a swing there, so no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mulkeen already with 6 strikeouts, looking to get her 7th. 1-2 pitch. Oh, and swing and a miss, and she does. Gets her 7th strikeout of the game and the top of the 7th. So Westwood going to come back up to bat here, bottom of the 7th. So Mia Poles is going to lead it off here for Westwood. Mia, the center fielder. Mia had a hit and a run scored a couple innings ago. So a swing on that one for strike 1. So we have 7, 8, 9 coming up for the Wolverines. Mia looking to bunt. Does hit the ground, but I think it may have gone foul, and it did. A lot of spin on those bunt attempts. It's hard to see sometimes if it's going to cross that line or stay in play. So no balls and 2 strikes for Poles. Shows bunt, pulls back wisely. So it was a ball there for 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shows bunt again, pulls back, it's another ball. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's been effective so far for Westwood when they've been in 2-strike counts showing the bunt. We've seen a number of different balls thrown after that. So it's gotten some of the hitters back into a hitting account. Shows bunt, does get the bat on that, but that's foul. And is that an out?
That'd be an out.
It is. So
That's
it's
an out.
So that's going to be the first out here on the bottom of the 7th.
So this is Maddie Brown.
Maddie
so they
Brown.
made the switch. They put Maddie Brown in the lineup where Julia Tartufo was, but
Yep.
then had her play left field.
Maddie's going to take a first pitch strike.
So her first varsity at bat was actually at Hopkinton, and she took 2 pitches for strikes, and then the 3rd pitch she roped to the left center field wall. It's like, okay.
Showing bunt, and it's going to be called strike. So Maddie Brown, a freshman. I think when I looked at the stats, her numbers were like 1,000. I think her average is 1,000. It was,
No, you're looking at
it was like a walk. And
Mary
then that-
Killalay.
Oh,
That's
Killalay.
yeah,
Okay, yes.
She did
One of
get
them.
one hit against Ashland. Yeah, when
Like-
some of those freshmen got a chance to play in the varsity games.
Technically, you could say that she leads the team in average, or leads
Absolutely.
the world in average at 1,000%. We got a swinging bunt attempt, and that's strike 3. So another strikeout for Walls. Walls has been very impressive for Hopkinton today.
And this is going to be Maddie McMahon, who enters the lineup for Bella Gentile, but played right field.
So we got a couple Madelyns, and Isabella and Isabellas. A swing and a miss there. Walls, 13 strikeouts on the day. Very
Incredible
productive
effort.
Day. Yep, she's been terrific. A bunt attempt. He fouled off to the backstop. So that's going to put up 2 strikes now. No balls, 2 strikes. Just outside, so 1 ball, 2 strikes to Maddie McMahon. Showing bunt, and that's going to be caught by first base. And that's going to end the game here with Hopkinton winning 9-2.
So let's talk about what this all means. So now Hopkinton is 12-3. Westwood is 11-4. So Hopkinton has clinched at least a tie of the TVL Large title.
Yep.
But Westwood not dead yet. And very interesting circumstances because Wednesday, Hopkinton plays Medfield.
Yep.
And Westwood squares off against Norwood. Now the intrigue there is that Westwood's game is at 7 p.m. So by the time the Wolverines actually take the field at Morrison, they'll know whether Medfield might have done them a favor and beaten Hopkinton, which can be a big ask. Medfield is a good team though, so if Medfield is able to get that win on Wednesday before Westwood plays Norwood, they would know that with a win against Norwood, they would indeed share the title with Hopkinton, the TVL Large title. So they're not dead, but got to come out with a stronger effort than what we saw today.
So, you know, Medfield's certainly a team that is capable. They are a team that's played everyone tough. But man, would that be a scene, Tom? Medfield beating Hopkinton, Westwood under the lights versus Norwood on senior night, no less. Westwood plays all of their home games here, and then they do the senior night at Morrison, which, growing up in Westwood, everyone's played there and wishes that they could play a night game there. So it would certainly set quite the scene for the Wolverines if that scenario were to happen.
Listen, Hopkinton deserves a ton of credit. They came here, like you said, off the bus, ready to play. They hit the cover off the ball, which is something they've been doing for 7 straight games now. They came angry. They're a very talented team who can hit, and they deserve every bit of that TVL Large title that they earned today. So congratulations to the Hillers, and a really good lesson for the Westwood team. Then hopefully they get a little favor here on Wednesday and pull off some magic.
Absolutely. And I would be remiss, Tom, not to thank you so much for joining us in this booth.
Hey,
And-
Morgan, I can't say I had fun. I enjoyed being with you, but being a parent of a player on this team, this is the first time I've ever watched a game and literally not cheered. I think a
Yes.
couple of things I said may have to be edited out. Evan, I love you, but no, it was a great time. It was a lot of fun to be able to do this, and you guys do a great job, and just thanks for letting me tag along today.
Absolutely. No, we thank you, and as always, we want to thank the great folks at Westwood Media Center, Melinda Garfield, Charlotte Lynch. Evan Cardamino is the greatest of all time covering these games for Westwood Media Center. He is the director of the sports coverage that you've seen, you know, on YouTube or even social media. So thank you, Westwood Media Center. None of this is possible.
One last note, those are the 3 captains right there.
Yeah.
So there's an interesting discussion going on right now, and we'll just see how that might carry over.
Absolutely.
We'll see what they're saying to those 3 leaders of this team.
Yep, absolutely. But everyone, thank you again for watching Hoptown with the win 9-2. We are going to be live, or not live, but we'll be covering the Norwood game on Wednesday. So looking forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.